Hi everyone, behind me is a 2011 Ford Figo and I'm going to review it. So before we get on the review, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we have loads of amazing content coming and you'll be notified whenever we make a new upload. Anyways, I'm Shyam Anand and this is Hyper Automobiles. Starting off the review by talking about the design of the 2011 Ford Figo. First thing that catches your eye is a large blue oval Ford badge. And just under that, you have the main grille which houses the number plate and you have the radiator right there. Now coming to fakery, you have a little bit over here in the sides, but that's completely fine with me. And over here, coming to the headlamps, all are halogens, nothing extraordinary about them. Beneath them, you have your fog lamps. And then the bonnet in general has not been shaped very aggressively. You just have two cuts over here, one over here and one over here. That's pretty much it for the bonnet. And from the front, I would say it's a very plain looking car, nothing aggressive about it. Now coming to the side, first thing that caught my eye personally was the extended wheel arches. So this is something which you don't get to see in hatchbacks. It comes in most SUVs, for example, the XUV 500, etc. So seeing extended wheel arches in a hatchback is not something that happens every day. And then coming over here, you have the indicator over here, not on the mirrors, which is, I think, fine. You have body colored mirrors, body colored door handles. And the window area, to be honest, is huge, utterly huge. So coming to the wheels of the car, you get 14s all around and you get discs in the front and drums in the back. You have the fuel cap over here. Now coming over to the rear of the car, you notice the elongated tail lamps, which I think look pretty good. You have a brake light over here, you have the rear wiper, the Ford badge and the Figo badge. You also have a tow hook over here. And yeah, that's about the design. Let's get on to the interior of the car. Now coming to the interior of the Ford Figo, first thing you notice is the steering wheel. The steering wheel does not have any steering mounted controls, which I think is fine for the time. You just have the Ford emblem in the middle and the horn. You have the stocks for the wipers and stocks for the lights over here. Coming to the instrument cluster, you see that there's the speedometer right in the middle, which has the fuel gauge also. You have the tachometer over here and you have a small digital display to display some information like mine. Now coming to the general layout of the dash, you have some storage over here and you have very well sized AC vents. You have the hazard lamp button over here and you have the radio. The radio, I would say it's just a little bit too clustered, the buttons. It's hard to understand. But once you get it, I think it's completely fine. You have the climate controls over here, the fan speed, etc, etc. And you have the AC button over here. And coming to the general storage in the front, you have a glove box over here, which is, to be honest, medium in size, not big, not small. And coming to door bins, door bins are tiny, to be honest. They can't fit a lot of 1 liter bottles or 750 ml bottles. And then coming over here, again to the center console, you have a few storage places over here. And this here is a 5-speed manual transmission which drives the front wheels. So it's front wheel drive. You have the handbrake over here, big chunky handbrake. Now coming here, you have grab handles and you have a vanity mirror for the passenger, but you don't have a vanity mirror for the driver, which I think is fine. And yeah, that's about the front. Let's get on to the rear seats. Now coming to the rear seats of the Ford Figo. So for me, the headroom is pretty sufficient right now, but I think people over 6 foot may find it a little bit difficult to sit here. Now coming to the knee room is again a little bit tight for me and legroom is seriously tight for me. Maybe because the front seat has been put back a little bit, but for me right now at present, it's kind of tight over here. But the seats, however, they are very good. They are reclined very nicely. They are not too upright, which is good. And you have the grab handles over here, which is nice. And coming to the storage over here in the back, so you have a storage space behind the companion seat, but to my surprise, there's nothing behind the driver's seat. I don't know why it's like that. That's a weird design according to me. And then coming to the seats again, you don't have any center foldable armrest or anything. I think it's fine for that time. And you have all fixed headrests. So you have two fixed headrests at the back, and the third person does not get a headrest. That means it's not meant for a third person to seat, right? But we're going to see if we can seat a third person. So as you can see, the hump is thin, to be honest, if that's a way of describing it. It's very thin, the hump over here. I'm going to try to see if we can seat a third person in the back seats. So for me, again, it's pretty much the same thing, to be honest. Same scenario as I was here. So headroom sufficient for me. People over 6 foot may find it difficult over here. And knee room is, again, a little bit tight, but I think it's better than sitting here. Legroom is actually pretty good. It is not better than here, but still, it is manageable. So Adults may not prefer the middle seat, but if you're having a child or something, yeah, they would be comfortable over here, no problem. And that's about the rear seats. Let's get on with the boot of the car. Now coming to the boot of the car, you notice that the opening is very wide and huge. Even the loading lip is pretty low, so it's easy to load things in. And what you get here is 284 liters of boot space, which I think is not bad. And that's about the boot. Let's get on the chassis and suspension of the car. Now coming to the chassis and suspension of the Figo. So the front you have independent McPherson strut with dual path mounts, and the rear you have semi-independent twist beam with coil springs. Now let's get on with the engine of the car. Now coming to the engine of the car, what engine you get here is a 1.2 liter naturally aspirated inline 4 engine which produces 70 horsepower and 102 Newton meters of torque. So I think that's a pretty healthy number considering that its competition also had the numbers somewhere right there. And that's about the engine. Let's get on to the final verdict of the car. Now coming to the final verdict of the car, what do I think of the 2011 Ford Figo? So personally I think that it's a pretty good car to own, but if you're thinking of getting a second-hand Figo or something like that, I would say that just don't do it, because as you all might know, Ford has also left India, so getting spares for the car will become a whole new level of difficult. So I don't think it's a good idea to get a Figo right now. And yeah, that's what we think about the car. Let us know what you think about the car in the comments below. As always, please make sure you subscribe to the channel because we have loads of interesting content coming and you'll be notified whenever we make a new upload. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.